Imagine a state that once banned slavery, only to become the beating heart of the Confederacy's economy and industry. A land of vast cotton fields and iron foundries that fed the rebel war machine until one general decided to make it scream. In 1864, William Tecumseh Sherman didn't just fight battles in Georgia. He waged total war on its soul, burning Atlanta to ash and carving a 60-mile-wide scar from the heartland to the sea. This wasn't mere invasion. It was psychological devastation meant to shatter Southern will. Georgia's fall didn't just end the war faster. It re-elected Lincoln, crushed Confederate hopes, and left scars that still echo in Southern memory. How did this reluctant rebel stronghold become the Confederacy's most vital prize and its greatest tragedy? Long before cannon fire echoed across its hills, Georgia was born from idealism and contradiction. Founded in 1733 by James Oglethorpe as the last of the 13 colonies, it started as a utopian experiment, a buffer against Spanish Florida, a haven for debtors and the poor, a place free of rum, lawyers, and most strikingly, slavery. Oglethorpe envisioned small farms worked by free men, not sprawling plantations powered by chains. But reality intruded fast. Coastal marshes proved perfect for rice, and wealthy neighbors in South Carolina whispered of profits from enslaved labor. By 1751, the ban lifted under royal pressure, and Georgia transformed. Enslaved Africans poured in through Savannah's port, their knowledge of rice cultivation turning tidewater plantations into gold mines. Then came Eli Whitney in 1793, tinkering on a mulberry grove plantation near Savannah. His cotton gin made short-staple cotton viable, exploding demand for land and labor across the upcountry. By the antebellum era, Georgia was the empire state of the South. Cotton fields stretched endlessly, King Cotton ruled. Plantations like those along the Ogeechee and Altamaha rivers produced fortunes, while inland counties grew corn, tobacco, and livestock. Enslaved people numbered nearly 500,000 by 1860, their forced labor building wealth that made Georgia a powerhouse. Railroads snaked from Savannah to Atlanta, turning the young city into a rail hub. Factories in Columbus, Augusta, and Macon churned textiles, powder, and iron. Georgia wasn't just agrarian, it was industrializing fast. Yet beneath the prosperity simmered tension. Northern abolitionists grew louder, Southern fire-eaters more defiant. When Abraham Lincoln won in 1860 without a single Southern electoral vote, Georgia's leaders saw existential threat. Governor Joseph E. Brown called a secession convention. On January 19, 1861, Georgia voted to leave the Union, becoming the fifth state to secede. Alexander Stephens, a moderate who opposed secession, became Confederate vice president. The state that once rejected slavery now staked everything on it. Early war spared Georgia direct invasion. Union blockades strangled Savannah's port. Fort Pulaski fell in 1862, sealing the coast. But inland, life continued. Georgia became the Confederacy's workshop. Augusta's powder works produced millions of pounds of gunpowder. Columbus built naval ironclads. Macon housed arsenals and gold depositories. Atlanta rolled rails and forged cannon. Agricultural bounty fed armies. Georgia was the breadbasket, shipping corn, pork, and cotton. Over 120,000 Georgians enlisted in gray, many never returning. Andersonville Prison, built in 1864 near Americus, became infamous. Overcrowding, disease, starvation claimed nearly 13,000 Union prisoners in a single year, one of the war's darkest chapters. The real turning point came in 1863. After Chickamauga, bloodiest battle in Georgia, where Confederate victory at high cost stopped Union advance into the Deep South, the tide shifted. Grant promoted Sherman to command Western armies. His orders: destroy the Confederate heartland. Georgia, with its rails, factories, and fields, was the prize. May 1864, Sherman launched the Atlanta Campaign. 100,000 Union troops marched south from Chattanooga, facing Joseph E. Johnston's Army of Tennessee. Johnston retreated skillfully. Resaca, New Hope Church, Pickett's Mill, Kennesaw Mountain, each clash bloody, each delaying Sherman but costing men. Johnston's caution frustrated Jefferson Davis. In July, he replaced him with the aggressive John Bell Hood. Hood attacked immediately, Peachtree Creek on July 20, then the Battle of Atlanta on July 22. Union General James McPherson died leading a countercharge. Hood lost heavily but couldn't stop Sherman. Maury battles, Ezra Church, Utah Creek, bled both sides. By late August, Sherman cut Atlanta's last rail at Jonesboro. Hood evacuated September 1. Union troops marched in September 2. Atlanta burned, some by Confederates destroying supplies, much by Sherman's men. The fall electrified the North. Lincoln's re-election, once doubtful, became certain. The Confederacy's industrial and transport hub was gone. Sherman didn't stop. He proposed something radical: sever supply lines, live off the land, march to the sea. Grant approved. November 15, 1864, 60,000 veterans left Atlanta in 4 columns, a 60-mile front. No supply trains, just foraging. Special bummers, stripped farms, burned barns, twisted rails into Sherman's neckties. The march to the sea was total war. Plantations torched, livestock slaughtered, cotton gins smashed. Civilians faced terror, stories of looting worse. Yet Sherman's orders spared homes unless resisted. Focus was economic destruction. Milledgeville, the capital, saw legislature flee. Macon escaped major damage. By December 21, Sherman reached Savannah. He presented the city to Lincoln as a Christmas gift. The march broke Confederate logistics, morale, and will. Georgia's shocking role wasn't just battles, it was the proving ground for modern warfare. Sherman's strategy hastened surrender. Lee surrendered April 1865. The war ended. Chapter 5: Modern Impact. Reconstruction rebuilt Georgia amid ruins. Freed people sought land, education, sharecropping emerged, trapping many in debt. Atlanta rose from ashes, symbol of the New South, hosting the 1895 Cotton States Exposition. Industry grew, railroads expanded. Today, Georgia thrives. Atlanta, a global hub of business, film, civil rights. The King Center, Ebenezer Baptist Church, remind of struggle beyond war. Andersonville National Historic Site honors prisoners. Battlefields like Kennesaw draw visitors. Sherman's march lingers in memory, some see liberation, others devastation. It shaped debates on war ethics, total war's cost. Closing reflection. Georgia entered the Civil War as the Confederacy's economic engine, its fields and factories fueling rebellion. It emerged scarred, its capital in flames, its people forever changed. The state's shocking role wasn't in starting the war, but in ending it. Atlanta's fall turned the tide, the march to the sea broke the back. In that crucible of fire and resolve, Georgia revealed America's capacity for both destruction and rebirth. Today, as skyscrapers tower over old battlefields, the question remains: what price power, and how do we heal wounds time can't fully erase? The land remembers, so should we.